had several days of rain, but we couldn't do anything. Well, the sun has finally come out, so we can get back at it. This is our construction zone. My, how quickly the trees fill out. The green is returning. Spring comes fast, but it feels chilly today. It's cold. It's actually been kind of cold the past 3 days. So the floor is completely framed, and we have been preparing the floor for the insulation. We're putting in a 1/4-inch plywood. And this insulation is hemp wool. You can handle it with your hands. You don't have to have special equipment. It's very easy to install. It is mold resistant, bug resistant, and rodent resistant. It's a natural fiber, so there's no harmful chemicals. It's a plant-based product. It's relatively new product on the market. You've probably heard of hemp before. And this is what I'm going to insulate my entire crafting cottage. We're starting with the floor, and because I want an insulated floor, and then we will use the same thing on our walls and on the roof. And so I will have another benefit of this hemp wool is that it creates like a sound muffling effect. So, you know, a lot of outside sounds will just be toned down, which will make the sound quality probably of my videos when I record inside will probably make it that much better. This hemp smells so good. Yeah, it has a nice smell to it. There are only 4 distribution places in the United States where you can get hemp wool insulation. They do ship, but that would have been a considerable extra expense. It was far cheaper to pick it up ourselves. I only purchased enough to insulate my floor because I don't have a lot of storage space, so I didn't want to order all of it at once. I ordered a half a pallet, which is 4x4, weighing 200 pounds, so my son needed to remove the cover from the back of the truck so the insulation would fit. Now, to tell you about our little adventure. I had had a rough night with very little sleep the eve before our trip to go pick up the insulation. So I had slept in until 9 a.m., which I never do. While having a late breakfast, I was looking up the email for details about the pickup and saw that they close at 4 p.m. Then I realized we needed to hit the road as soon as possible or we will miss our pickup. My son used his phone's GPS to find the shortest route because we were already late. But he kept looking for faster routes. One time, there was a slow up ahead of us, which would have made us too late. So GPS took us on a little detour, which brought us through a winding backcountry dirt road somewhere in the hills of North Carolina.
Oh my goodness.
It didn't seem right. But we did make it to our destination 15 minutes prior to closing time. We opted to remove the bundled hemp from the pallet. I had remembered to purchase a tarp just in case it rained on our trip, but I forgot to take along some bungee cords, which I have plenty of at home. So we did have some difficulty securing the tarp. We must have stopped like 3 or 4 times to readjust the tarp. At one time, the one cord we did have somehow had hooked itself onto the handle of the lift gate on the back of the truck and opened it partway, and the load was starting to fall out. Oh dear. How that happened, we know not. Anyway, we made it home with our load, but one end of the tarp, the back end of it, was completely shredded. This is a brand new tarp I had bought the night before. I will have to go back to pick up the rest of the insulation for my cabin walls and ceiling. So I've already determined the next time I'm going to rent a truck so that we could just put it all in the back of the truck and close the door. That will be so much easier, and we will still save a lot of money by not paying for shipping. There is always a new adventure and things to learn around the corner. Peeling it up all the edges before we put in the insulation in the floor. I don't like cold floors. I don't like cold feet. I'm excited that we are making progress. What he's doing now is sealing all of the cracks so that we don't have any bugs coming up through the floor. But we're just waiting for all of this to get done so that we can get all the insulation in, and then we'll start putting the floor down. How exciting! Hemp insulation is all in, and we are beginning on the floor. This is the porch area. The wood being used here on the porch is treated, weather treated. And I wanted all of the wood to go at an angle. So the non-treated wood, which will be in the cabin part of this build, will be the untreated wood, which is that stack over there. So you can see the porch will go this way and down that way on a porch on 2 sides, just like my drawing. Can you see that pile of wood over there? Yeah, right there. That's my flooring. I'm going to be using 2x6s for the floor, and this is going to be the actual floor. I decided I want to keep a natural wood floor finish. I'll probably give it a nice stain, and inside the cabin will be highly glossed, so that way if I spill paint I can easily just wipe it up. So that's the plan, and hopefully by the end of this video we will have the floor done. Maybe if the weather allows us. We have to work around the weather. You have an audience. And I just go. Come over to watch. The original plan was to have all the boards going in this diagonal direction. And we started with the porch with the weather-treated boards, but we ran into a problem because those boards are actually wider than the non-treated 2x6s. So we've changed the floor design to go in different directions. So this corner will go this way, and that corner comes in this way, the center goes that way, that corner will match this corner going this way, and that corner will go this way, matching that corner. So it sort of gives a creative design. Sometimes, you know, things don't always work the way you want them to work, and so you have to figure out a way that works. For just laying here temporarily is where the wall will be, and that green is the corner, the end of the cabin, and on the outside is the porch area. The porch floor will all go in that direction. We have put the electrical wire coming up through the floor because I want to have some floor outlets in the center island of the cabin. Periodically, we have to dry out the tarp that we use to cover the construction. And right now, two of my cats, outside cats, are curious about it. So they are visiting the tarp. He's on the edge, Romeo. And Grandma, she's sitting on it, bathing herself. How funny. It's a new object of curiosity for the cats. It's a huge tarp.